We'll take you to Ada. There was a boat disaster. Subsequently, there was some effort to make sure that there's rescue. Armstrong Gold Alogba has been giving us the latest. We'll take you there when he's ready. But Bernard, just in a minute, all of us take 1 minute before we go to Ada. I remember that okay, so he's ready? Okay, so I remember that Boss posted. Okay, so Armstrong is ready. Let's go to Armstrong.
But the boat operator will not let the pupils and some of the passengers on it wait. Let me find out from him, boss. On the life jacket here, okay, no menako.
Oh, inge enu like am call ne ma wo. E ma wo ne feel kan be wo. E be wo ka we are safe to go.
Inu is kan onge loke ne ma wo e wo le ne be wo.
They decide to wait or not.
Okay. Let me talk to this man. Boss, come this way. Let me talk to you. Boss, hold this for me. You are positioned here to ensure that people comply with the rules governing the Volta River. That is your mandate.
Yeah.
And right under your watch, this man just moved. People are not in the life jacket, and you just watch him move on.
Before they will enter into the boat, I tell him to tell the people to wear the life jacket. According to him, he said that the people are not feeling to wear it. Because I was not having any power, I just watch.
But your job is to do what?
To insist that they wear it. But
so why didn't you insist?
I insist, he didn't insist.
He didn't insist enough. That's fine. I'll leave you, but first of all, I'll come back to you. Boss, go back in there. Make sure everybody wears the life jacket. Those who don't have it would have to get down. Do you agree? Oh, no,
well, I only have 5 at the moment. So
you are going to go with the 5.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So go, especially let the pupils wear the life jacket. Now, let's have this conversation now because some teachers are also here with us that are about crossing the Volta River to their various schools. And they've been sharing some kind of issues with me that is very horrific. Let's talk to this man. He's headmaster of, what's the name of your school?
The name of the school is TV3Newday Basic School.
Go ahead.
The name of the school is TV3Newday Basic School. I'm David Numotete.
You are David Numotete?
Yes.
And you are the headmaster?
I'm the headmaster of the school.
Okay.
We always join boats to wherever we work.
Okay.
Every day.
For how many years now?
3 years now. We have been on this river for these 3 years. In fact, it is a challenging issue. We go sometimes.
First of all, hold on. Young man, let them wear the life jacket. Those who don't have would have to get down, okay? So you can move.
All right.
They are getting late to school.
All right.
So you can carry on. Let's talk to you. So you said you've been doing this for the past 3 years now?
Yes, please. I've been doing this for the past 3 years.
Yourself, do you have life jackets?
I do.
Where's your life jacket?
It is outside there. I will put it on before going.
Yes. What are some of the challenges you are faced with on your way to school every day?
The challenges, some of the boats are not good. They leak about, and when we are on the middle of the river, sometimes they leak and water gets into the river. It is so terrific that we sometimes fear and we feel like coming back. But looking at the distance in front of us and the distance behind us, you cannot make it unless we call for another boat to come and save us on the river.
And you experience it very often?
Very often. We have videos to that effect. Yes.
And you've been doing this for the past 3 years?
I've been doing this for the past 3 years.
And you are the headmaster?
I'm the headmaster of this school. And when teachers are posted to this, because of all these things, they don't like coming. It is very challenging. And looking at the number of children we have in the school, we should have about 17 teachers because it is basic school, KG, primary, and GHS. We are close to 400. And because of this number, we should be 17 in number. I mean the number of teachers. But currently we have 11 of us.
Right.
So, in fact, we pray that if assistance will be offered to us, so that we can easily go to the school every day to teach our children.
Let me talk to this other teacher. You stand here for me. Stand here for me. What's your name?
I'm Rosalind.
And which school do you teach in?
Pediatric Basic School.
You've been here for how many years?
For 3 years and in my 4th year now.
You're in your 4th year now?
Exactly.
You have to travel on the Volta River every day to school?
Every single day, we have to cross to school.
Really?
Yes.
Is that easy?
It's not easy at all because we've had quite some frightening experiences which scares us. And sometimes we even want to just get a transfer from the place, but we realize if we get a transfer and we leave this place and we don't make the place a safer for those who come next, how are the kids going to benefit? So we are here now, we will make sure the right things are put in place.
Take me through, over the years you've been traveling on this Volta River. What are some of the experiences?
Let me just break it down, from leaking of canoes to overloading. The anthem here is, if you tell them, hey, the canoe is overloaded, they'll just tell you, hey, here in Ada, we've never had a canoe capsized. But now that a recent incident happened, now we know that a canoe has capsized, and now maybe it will be a wake-up call for them to sit up and then do their job well as canoe operators, especially. Yeah, with the leaking of the canoe, it's serious. It's serious. We will be in a moving canoe, and if you see how water rushes into the canoe, yes. And that's not the only thing. We get to the middle of nowhere, and then the canoe stops. Sometimes they'll tell you fuel is finished. Sometimes they tell you they don't have enough fuel, or that their machine is spoiled. If it was a car, I would have alighted and then pick another one. But this, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Where will I alight? So I have to be in the river till maybe another canoe comes by, or we don't know how.
That's terrible.
Very terrible.
Do you sometimes regret accepting posting to such places?
Yes, I do. 100% I do. I do regret most of the times.
Now, let's talk about you. You are fortunate to have a life jacket. Let me engage this man now. Young man, come. Her life jacket looks different from what you are wearing.
Yeah.
So, is he another kind of life jacket, and how safe is this life jacket?
For this one, it's not all that way safe.
Pardon?
It's not all that way safe.
Is it a proper life jacket?
No.
Pardon?
No.
It's not a proper life jacket. For how long have you been using this life jacket?
I've been using this life jacket for 3 years.
Now I'm being told it's just for fashion.
It was provided by GS.
GS gave you this life jacket?
Exactly. It was given to our schools, and since we were posted here, the school also gave them out to us.
But this man who has been trained to ensure that lives and properties are protected here says that it's just for fashion. And nobody has ever told you this?
Nobody. And if he's here and he's trained, he knows we have island schools. So maybe their duty is to come to schools at least to check if the life jackets the teachers are using is proper or not. Because me, I don't deal in life jackets. I wouldn't know if it's a proper life jacket or not. I just got to know this morning that it's for fashion.
Boss, this is terrible. That means you failed in your responsibilities here.
I don't want to be hearing the word you feel in your responsibility.
You don't want to hear that word, but unfortunately I would have to use the word, because if your job here is to ensure that people that come here, comply with the rules, lay down rules, and for 1 year you've been here, and this lady for the past 3 years has been using this. Come on.
We should ask ourselves how many years long this work comes. So if she's claiming that she's wearing this in the past 3 years, and this people work for just a year now.
Under which ministry do you work?
Minister of Transport.
You work under the Ministry of Transport?
Yes.
And you've been here for how many years?
A year now.
A year now. What's the name of your organization?
Ecozor.
Ecozor, and your main responsibility is to?
Protect lives on the river bodies.
Okay. Very well. So he is from Ecozor and he's under the Ministry of Transport. This lady here by name Rosalind is a teacher. She's getting late to school. We'd have to release them to go. And then this headmaster by name, what's the name?
David Tetepani Numo.
So David Tetepani Numo, from which school?
Pedatokope DA Basic School.
They are running late for school. We'd have to let them go, and then we'll follow up the issue and see how terrible this issue is. But the issue here still remains that both operators are still adamant, making their passengers wear the life jacket, even though some of them seems to have a couple of them here. All the teachers I've spoken to, about 5 of them so far, all have some terrible stories to share with us. And for this man, probably would have to look at their mandate again, since they are unable to insist on both operators wearing the life jacket and also ensuring that their passengers wear the life jacket before they transport their passengers on the Volta River. Joseph Armstrong, Go with TV3. Over to you in the studios.
Well, thank you very much, Armstrong. And the latest there. Well, Sly, let's wrap up. What do you make of the incident? Just a minute.
Quite unfortunate. And we've had many of such incidents, not only in Adan areas, but entire water lake. Our lake transport system, we should look at it again. And I think that until disasters of this nature occurs, we don't usually talk about it. And the striking moment of this discussion is where the life jacket being provided by GS to the teachers is turning out to be not, how do you call it, certified, or as it were, properly so, a life jacket that can actually save lives. So that's a very worrying situation. And I think that the Ministry of Transport itself should enforce some regulations on the water travel. Look, people live on the banks of the river, and the distances they travel is life-threatening. And I've seen young kids being sent to the town riding. If you go to Adan, if you know Adan very well, there are places, you see them coming in and out to run errands for the family. I have a similar place here called Fajimoy, and you have to go by the boat.
At English I'm from.
Yes, at English I'm from. And I think that I was making an effort for them to be relocated. It's become a very small place that if they could be, if they can, they should be relocated to avert similar incident. And you see, in Ada, if you know the number of communities that use these means of transport, you'll be amazed. And for the teachers, I wonder why they cannot provide decent accommodation for them to live there, rather than doing daily commuting between the main town and the islands for their work. If people are living there, what is left is to provide electricity and basic social amenities for them to be able to live there. So if weekends you come to town, that is more safer than trying to commute on a daily basis. That becomes a life-threatening situation.
Oh, so here is it not sad? You look at Holland, water boundary country, Japan, the rest of those Asian countries, even Dubai. Look at Dubai. They built a whole city on the desert along the sea.
They are man-made.
And we go and spend money there. Yeah. And we live along the water, precious water, and it's a disaster.
You know, Roland, sometimes I say that it looks like Africa, and for that matter, Ghana, is blessed to its point of curse. We are so blessed that that blessing has become a curse, because we don't seem to have to struggle that much to even survive. And when you understand what it takes to survive in a country that has snow every year, then you understand what I mean. We don't in Africa even have to struggle to survive. I mean, can you imagine how we would have dealt with snow if we had it every year? Common flooding. It kills people and destroys things every year. For years, centuries, we have not been able to deal with that. Can you imagine if we had disasters like earthquakes? You know, like other countries do almost on a yearly basis. Yeah. The hurricanes. Can you imagine if we were typhoons? So we are so blessed that we don't even think. We have become lazy thinkers.
We've taken everything for granted.
And it's just so sad. I mean, in this century, I mean, should we really be discussing how to survive, you know, in communities around water bodies? I mean, it's a shame. It's a collective shame. And I feel very sorry that, you know, people have to deal with this sometimes on a daily basis. I have a friend of mine, Idris Abdul Rashid. I grew up with him. He's like a senior brother now. He's the manager of Tuma Prestige. He comes from Daboya. Growing up, I always used to tell him that there's no way that I will ever accompany him to his hometown, because you have to cross a water body in a boat. And I can't trust some of the means of transport on our water bodies. Yes, I can't. I said some of the means of transport on our water bodies in Ghana, but elsewhere maybe I will try. But it's such a difficulty for me to be comfortable riding in boats on our water bodies.
How do we take the bull by the horn, Bernard Bona, related to these issues? We have the Odor, for example. We've left it to silt. We have the Water Lake Transport project that, we always dream about, but it just never comes to fruition. You go to other countries, they have restaurants on these water bodies.
Well,
I
have done nightclubbing
underwater in a cruise,
in boats.
Yeah,
and then you move.
Which country?
Oh, in Germany, in France, and also in Switzerland. And where you go to boat party, the boat moves, and you go round, and you are partying everything until you get back to your destination, and then you get out, and you do city tour in the boats. And then you get to see locations sometimes. You know that there's.
Do we have African politicians going, or Ghanaian politicians going to those countries?
Of course.
Come on.
Sly is a politician.
Sly just told you that he enjoyed those
He hasn't
things.
had power yet.
Yeah, Sly just told you that you enjoyed those things outside there.
Did I say that?
You understand? So obviously,
I've not been to the place.
President Akufo-Addo has been traveling. President Mahama has been traveling, and they go to see all these things. And so it should not be difficult for us. If you read about
Roland, it's not always only about the leadership. It's also about the people.
If you read about transportation, you know that water transport is supposed to be the safest form of transportation. Water transport by nature is supposed to be the safest form of transportation. And unfortunately, ours have become the most disastrous form of transportation because of the crude ways that we use. Look, so in it, the boats that you see, growing up from a water community, when you go into the boat, you see that they will be having a calabash or a rubber, fetching the water that is
scooping the water that is
seeping through.
Yeah, that's why I can't.
And so you, while somebody is paddling or moving the boats, another person is there, or some people are there scooping the water. It gets to some point, you are actually asked to support in scooping the water so that you'll be able to go. I feel very bad, particularly for public servants and civil servants who have to go almost every day. The last one that I saw was that some community called Azizanya. People had to move from Azizanya to Azizape, where they were going to attend the funeral. The other side, they were watching them come, and all of a sudden the thing capsized, and 2 women and 3 children had to perish. And I've said that you are going for a funeral, and now you also have become a funeral. Certainly, it doesn't speak well of our transport system. I think that we should intensify the work of the Marine Police in this community that your reporter was. There is no Marine Police available, and yet people are paid. So where are they that they are not able to see and supervise some of the things? If there were to be Marine Police, they will be ensuring that there will be effective life jackets and other what we call PPEs that will be used in order to ensure the safety of these people.
Well, so Bernard Mona is the former chair, the PNC. Thank you for coming.
Basara is not the chairman.
All right, and then the member of parliament for Tamale North is Al Hassan Sohiyeni. Were you at the event yesterday?
I got in from my constituency late. I couldn't meet it.
And then also
which event?
Sylvester Tete, the chairman.
The true state of the nation.
The leader, chairman and leader. You are subordinating his authority.
All right.
The general chairman.
General chairman. Yeah.
General chairman.
Chairman general.
Sylvester Tete is the member of parliament for Botsiano, English and Manfro.
Times are tough.
Have you set the time for taking nomination?
No. They don't know when.
All right, so we're taking a break.
We are being held to ransom by the president. We told you the whole nation to ransom.
We told you the story about
not knowing the man was envious of Gerald.
We told you the story about
dictatorship.
The gentleman who has these seizures neurotic difficulties he has, but it's also due to sometimes some rare diseases and their prevalence in our country. So Bella Mundi will be having a conversation with clinical psychologist, founder, executive director for Rare Disease Ghana Initiative, Samuel Ejewiafe, would want to get into these matters. How do we also psych people up, when they have family members who are plagued with some of these abnormalities or difficulties? We're taking a break. We'll be right back.